I would like to present or introduce to you Rachel DeFranco and Jay Sverdensky. They both work for the city of Fremont, and they work together on the energy storage microgrid project that they put in place, and they're going to talk to you actually from a few different perspectives about that project and lessons learned and things that could be applied in other situations. So if you would help me in welcoming Rachel and Jay. Thank you.
Thank you all. So Jay's going to join me in a second. At first, I'm going to jump into a little bit of background on planning and permitting considerations when it comes to energy storage. So I was able to extract some knowledge from our building department, our senior electrical inspector, around the types of systems that he's seeing out in the field on more of the residential side. And then we'll get into a discussion around how our fire department looks at safety considerations around battery storage, more from a commercial perspective. And then I'll go a little bit of a deeper dive into our microgrid demonstration project at our 3 fire stations that we did in partnership with Gridscape Solutions. And so Bipple and Olive from Gridscape are here. Hopefully you had a chance to talk to them. They're great folks, and we've worked very closely on this project over the last few years. So first off, I want to go into our permitting. And so this is just a snapshot from our website. We have electronic permitting for residential systems when it comes to solar under or equal to 10 kilowatt systems. And we're actually offering that as well for our energy storage systems. So if a solar project comes in and has energy storage as part of it, or even if it's a storage alone process, it would come through electronically. Larger systems have their own process, but we've really worked to try to streamline this process significantly. We've been permitting a lot of solar PV systems, more so with battery storage over the last year in particular. And about 99% of the PV systems coming through are actually reviewed electronically. Sometimes there's a few, specific details of projects where we do need to go more in depth. So before I talk about storage, I just wanted to give a snapshot of the amount of solar that we've seen installed over the last 10 years, and in particular, significant jumps since 2015, 2016. We have seen, on average, between about 700 to 900 residential solar PV installations annually in the last 3 years, and we have about 38 megawatts of installed power capacity in Fremont to date. So the next thing that I wanted to share is I was able to extract some data from our permitting system around backup power systems. And so I asked for data from 2015 forward, and it was really interesting to see the trends here. In 2015, we didn't have any battery storage systems come in through permitting. In 2016, we had one. We've had a couple hydrogen fuel cell systems come through as well. But really, 2017 forward is when we've seen that significant increase. And I think in particular, 2017, we actually saw more battery storage systems come in 2018. I think that was a little bit of a product of those early adopters who were really excited about the Tesla Powerwall and taking advantage of the self-generation incentive rebate that first became available in 2017. Some of those systems took a long time to actually get installed, so there's a delay in, I think, systems coming in through 2018, but now we've seen that significant spike in 2019. And the bulk of the battery systems that have come through permitting are residential. I can say though, in 2019, our building department said we've seen about 1 commercial battery system a month in this year. And one kind of notable battery system that came through was for a ice making company that we have in Fremont that was very concerned about losing power during the PSPS events, and said we need to install battery storage so that we can keep our operations going because our entire facility is completely dependent on electricity. I think just to note too, the 2019 numbers are through the beginning of this month, so we may see more come in before the turn of the calendar year. So common home battery systems that we're seeing primarily are the Tesla Powerwall and the LG system. We've also seen some Sonens. And these are all, probably about the size of this kiosk and, maybe half a foot thick, a little bit different dimensions on each. I pulled together this information primarily from this URL that I have at the bottom and a few manufacturer websites. So this is just a glimpse of sizes, costs, and weight of systems. Something that was interesting as I was pulling this together that I noted is the power capacity of these systems doesn't necessarily mean that that's all usable power capacity for the power that you want to be sending into the battery from solar production and pulling out in the afternoon. Some of this is just stored capacity for resiliency only as a backup power system. And so some of these have much more usable capacity even though they're smaller system size, and some of them have just backup power that really isn't touched unless the grid is out. So, trying to look at apples to apples comparison is a little bit challenging. Also, note, since we're in San Leandro, electric is actually here in San Leandro. And another thing to note is the Sonnen systems that we have seen coming through permitting have been larger than the 4 kilowatt hour. Like they actually go up to 23 kilowatt hour size, and so some of those bigger systems are significant weight, and that requires structural considerations as well. So just general considerations when we're looking at home battery systems that our building department are looking at, specifically, batteries will need their own inverter. There are some inverters that can be utilized for both PV and battery systems, namely the Solar Edge is one that we've seen quite a bit. But a lot of the time those batteries actually will either be sold with their own inverter, which is a separate cost from the cost that you mentioned previously, or you have to have a separate inverter installed. And typically the solar companies that are installing the systems are providing those. There's also considerations around, whether or not these systems are just for backup power or for load offsetting. And I think some of the earlier systems that we saw were really just for that backup power, and they're not doing any load offsetting during the day on a regular basis. Backup power systems require an auto transfer switch, and so that's an additional element of the inspection process that our building inspectors are looking for. And then with load offsetting systems, which we've seen more commonly in the past 6 to 8 months, those are requiring a separate PG&E approval process because there is this potential to backfeed the grid, as we heard earlier. So that additional PG&E approval process can take a significant amount of time. And then finally, the battery system weight is another concern that we're looking at when these systems are coming through plan review. So the LG batteries and the Tesla batteries are typically around 250 pounds. So in the plan sets, they're really just looking for the mounting or anchoring details, and then they can approve those permits. But as I mentioned, the Sonnen batteries with the larger capacity are much heavier, and so that's actually requiring structural load calculations from a structural engineer, and that can also take additional time. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jay to talk a little bit more about energy storage safety, and then we'll talk more about the microgrid project in a minute.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to start putting this together. I really had no idea what I was getting myself into with this group. I've never heard of it. But it's great to hear some of the policy overview and the programs and all of those sorts of things that are really going to help us become a more sustainable community. I also am going to need a water heater at some point in the future, so I'm curious about if you've got to talk about your heat pumps. But over the last few years, we've had an opportunity to become more involved with some of the commercial installations. As Rachel mentioned, we don't get involved much in the residential stuff. Most of that comes to us, you all listed, it's interconnected, it's supposed to work the way you put it in. What I'm really going to talk about is the sort of the larger scale systems that we see when you want to do energy production and or more grid storage type stuff. We have in place in Fremont right now 6 fuel cells. They're mostly associated with the telecom industry. We have one big box retailer that's using a blue box. We have one commercial facility that's recently installed a flow battery, which was our first one. So that was kind of a new experience for us. And then the one large sort of mega wall, a mega pack that our ice plant is looking to put in is the commercial facility that we'll be reviewing here in the near future. And so far, each of these has been reviewed on its own merits. And so when these projects have come to us, we've started to ask basic questions on what are they really having? What hazardous materials are associated with facilities? Obviously, fuel cells have hydrogen. Batteries like electrolytes are flammable or corrosive and combustible. And the flow batteries, depending on the scale of the installation, can have very, very large amounts of corrosive material associated with them. So we're also looking at where is it? In the residential communities, obviously, we're going to get smaller scale installations out in some of our industrial areas. The installations are going to grow. We want to understand what impacts that might have to the site, the neighborhood, and also the community at large. The types of equipment, a lot of stuff now is coming pre-listed with from UL or factory neutral. We do have some foreign-built systems that have been brought into town, and we've put those basically through a parallel third-party review through, I think it's Dept. And then we've got a couple that have been site-built and evaluated just for the facility itself. We also use these same sorts of reviews for sort of the upfront manufacturing. We have 4 or 5 different battery manufacturers in town, and they're all trying to figure out what the next best battery is going to look like. So we use a similar process to go through that. And then one we're starting to ask more and more about is the management and monitoring. Who's responsible for the system? We've not actually had real incidents with the battery installations to date, but we have the microgrid folks here today. We have some Reliant facilities and telecommunication facilities. We want to know how to get a hold of people should there be a problem in these installations. And if it's a multi-tenant building and this installation is down the end, the person right next to it may or may not know who's responsible for that installation. And we've had plenty of codes to take a look at in terms of trying to figure out how to build these things. There are Chapter 6 in building systems, 50 is hazardous materials, 57 combustible liquids and flammables, 58 flammable gases. NFPA 2 addresses hydrogen systems associated with fuel cells. We had some old installation guidelines from the State Fire Marshal's Office for solar installations. And we've had recent sort of finalization of UL 1973, which is sort of the construction protocol for battery packs. And then UL 9540, which is for the larger systems as you put multiple packs together. A good example of some of the complications that we've had are with the flammables, the hydrogen. We've got stuff that's flammable gases is 58, and NFPA 52 or NFPA 2 addresses hydrogen systems. And the newest one that's come out is NFPA, it's 853, which is specific to hydrogen fuel cell installations. So which code are you going to use to put the installation in? To date, over the last 5 or 6 years, we've looked at sort of a performance-based approach on alternative materials. We've asked the questions that we talked about in the beginning. We've looked through the code sections to try and figure out what might apply, and we've come up with a site-specific installation. We're pretty excited going forward, but all this is going to get consolidated, at least to a starting point for us. I'll let you read through that. This is a PowerPoint mistake. You never put this much text on a slide. And this is not to be confused with the Joint Appendix, Chapter 12, that our building folks talked about earlier today. So what's going to be in here? Again, a lot of stuff that I already talked about. It's going to have some general information about the systems, definitions, emergency and standby power, solar voltaic, stationary fuel cell, and one that's probably near and dear to this group's heart is the electrical storage systems. Depending on the scale and the scope of those, there are going to be permits required by the fire departments. They're kind of in Fremont, we do them in parallel with our building departments, where everything comes into one stop or one shot, and we sort of divvy it up in the background. There is a hazard mitigation analysis. I think the codes are recognizing this is an evolving field, and what we know today is going to be very different in a few years. And so this hazard mitigation analysis is something that folks are going to probably want to become familiar with if they're actually installations. 2 tables I'm going to mention. One is the table 1206.2, which is the first table we've had in the fire code that really addresses energy capacity. To date, it's all been driven by the amount of hazardous materials that are present. This is actually going to be driven by the capacity of the battery or the installation. And then it drops back to recognize the amount of materials you're going to put in the building with 1206.2.9, which is the maximum allowed battery requirements. That does go back and look at the types of hazardous material that are going to be in the facility, and then describes an occupancy that's going to go around it, special walls, special ventilation, special monitoring, and things like that. And then these are the select resources. The building and fire codes can both be found on the Building Standards Commission website. There is a typo in the second bullet. It's NFPA Standard 2, which is for hydrogen installation. It's NFPA 853, which is for fuel cells. And then the UL protocols for actually assembling batteries, and then larger battery packs. And I think with that, I'll turn it back over to Rachel.
Great. Jay wasn't sure what he was going to talk about, but I think that was a wealth of information. A lot of stuff I have no knowledge about, so it's always great to have Jay here providing that lens. So some of you may have already heard about this project. It's been getting quite a bit of attention regionally in light of the public safety power shutdowns in PG&E. But we have been working on a microgrid demonstration project for the last few years in Fremont to install solar with battery systems and microgrid controllers at 3 of our fire stations. Fremont has 11 fire stations, and so this is at 3 stations kind of spread across the city. We identified the stations based on solar availability, as well as the total energy load of those facilities and who they're serving. So this project was really funded through a California Energy Commission grant, and actually awarded directly to Gridscape Solutions, who are a Fremont-based clean tech firm, and they asked the city of Fremont if we would partner with them to provide our facilities for the demonstration project. And so we have been able to benefit from these systems significantly in terms of energy generation, backup power, a lot of publicity, and also see Gridscape grow from a facility of, I think it was 6 staff initially, to over 40 staff, and have a number of projects under their belt now at other equipment facilities across the state of California. So, quick overview of the project. It was actually a $1.8 million grant from the California Energy Commission. Gridscape supported the project through some of their own, kind of skin in the game, research and development, up to about $650,000. So it's a $2.4 million project, and we are receiving these systems on 3 of our fire stations. Primary benefits, obviously, are resilience to critical facilities, energy cost savings, and providing clean energy to those facilities through on-site generation. So the systems themselves are around 40 kilowatt PV system each, paired with actually the energy source size slightly under here is closer to about 110 kilowatt hour energy storage unit, and then a microgrid controller that Gridscape has developed through this project and refined significantly in their energy management software. So where these systems are located, 3 different parts of the city. I have some basic parameters around the size of the facilities, or at least 10,000 square feet each. 2 of them were using about 100,000 kilowatt hours of energy from the grid previously. The third, Fire Station 11, is the lead goal facility, and it's our newest facility. It just went into operation in the last 5 years. And so that one had a little bit of a lower load to start with. But we're really looking at about 19 cents a kilowatt hour electricity pricing from PG&E when we started this project, which was 2016. So the systems are designed really, this is a very simple design here to show that there's a solar canopy paired with a battery system. Then there's an auto transfer switch, and so there's connection to the facility. There's also connection to the grid. And I'll talk a little bit about the difference in some of these systems in a minute, because one of our stations has a different setup than the other two. So one thing that I think is really important to know through all of this is because this was a demonstration project, Gridscape went out, got this grant, so he said, if you get the grant, we'll try to figure out how to work with you. And they did, so we need to figure out how we're actually going to contract for this and not go through a standard RFP process. So this is my best friend, California Government Code 4217.10 through 18, where it allows public facilities to single source an energy project as long as you can demonstrate that the savings of that project will outweigh the upfront cost of that project. So what we did is figure out how to contract with Gridscape. We had participated in the Regional Renewable Energy Procurement Project, which is Alameda County's Human Resources-led effort for public agencies throughout Alameda, Contra Costa, San Mateo, and Santa Clara counties to get solar. And we had received bids and engaged in contracts for 4 of our facilities in Fremont through the RREP, and had an example of a well-vetted power purchase agreement already that not only our legal team, but legal teams from across these counties have looked at and really made sure that it was strong and representing the city's interests and needs. So our lawyer who had worked on that was very comfortable in saying, okay, let's take that agreement and make it work for this project. So what we did is we designed a demonstration period at the beginning of that contract to say for the period where these systems are installed and operating but being tested as part of the grant for reporting to the CEC, that will be our demonstration period. Gridscape will have access to the systems. They can take them into idling mode. They can turn them off and turn them back on during this demonstration period. So we're not contracting for specific production during that first year, but we'll receive the benefit of whatever energy is generated from the systems, and we won't be paying for it. And then we roll into a power purchase agreement. So we have a 10-year PPA with Gridscape for each of these systems, and the pricing is based at a level of 1/2 of what we were paying to PG&E previously. So we're looking at about 8-9 cents a kilowatt hour. And here's just quick analysis of projected savings, and this is really just projected savings based on straight production from the solar, not looking at additional demand reduction that we may receive by being able to shift loads into the battery, or any additional benefit for arbitrage, which Gridscape is actually working with EBCE now to look at ways that we can send energy to the grid during peak times and test out compensation for that in a way that makes sense from both the owner of the system, Gridscape, and from the energy provider, EBCE. So benefits to the city, obviously, protecting critical facilities against power outages, reducing demand on the grid. There's quite a bit of demand in the area of South Fremont in particular, so making sure that we're doing our part to shift that demand into a distributed energy resource, increasing our community resilience, having over $250,000 of utility bill savings at minimum over this 10-year period of time, saving over 80,000 pounds of carbon dioxide annually through renewable production. And then, I think the economic development lens on this is really important as well, supporting the local clean tech firm to help them advance and innovate and come up with a solution that was nearly market ready to something that now is market ready and can be provided without the assistance of a grant at a cost that can actually save a city money through annual production. So, I mentioned also before I go into this that there was a little bit of a difference in design between 3 systems. So Fire Station 11, which was the first system that we installed, has a DC coupled system where the battery and the solar are utilizing the same inverter. What that means is that we had to demonstrate that there was no way the battery was going to actually be able to pull energy from the grid during low-cost utility production times and then send it back to the grid. when, utility costs are high and thereby making money off of PG&E. So Gridscape demonstrated through software engineering that they had a cutoff from the grid with the battery through the microgrid controller, but that was not a hardwired cutoff that was required per the Public Utilities Commission ruling in 2015 for energy storage plus solar systems. So what that meant is we were not able to get on a net energy metering tariff with Fire Station 11. We were actually on a non-export agreement with PG&E with an addendum to be able to export to the grid without compensation. Fire Station 6 and 7 are AC coupled systems, so the battery has its own inverter and it operates completely independently of the solar. So there's this kind of a layer between the battery and the grid, so the battery will never communicate with the grid, and those systems were able to get on an energy metering tariff automatically. So this is a snapshot. This is actually from when we first started producing at Fire Station 11, but you can see, and actually what's nice is that there was a chart earlier that demonstrated how, a solar plus battery system could look, and this actually showing what production actually looked like. So that chart there, the grid, energy that was used from the grid is gray, from the battery is that peach color, and then solar is green. You can see over the period of the day, when this is from midnight to midnight, solar production came in, we were using the energy in the facility, we were charging the battery, and then, as solar production went down, we started to pull from the battery, and then, started to pull from the grid, kind of in the late night, early morning hours, and especially, before solar production kicked back in again. So, and this is, the February when there's not a ton of solar production during the summer. This chart looks a little bit different. We're really not even utilizing grid energy much at all. And so, the benefit is substantial in terms of utility bill savings. So just a couple images. This is Fire Station 11 where we have that DC coupled system. The battery system is actually in that storage container to the far right. And it's a string of batteries, Samsung batteries, and Gridscape's microgrid controllers in there, and they had to put in, temperature controls inside the storage container to ensure that there's constant temperature. So this is really more of a lab setup. They can get in, they can mess with the system, configure it, rewire things as necessary. And then when we get to, this is an aerial of Fire Station 6. You can't see the storage here, but this is just a solar carport. But this is the storage unit. So the tall, thing on the very end is the actual battery container. There's LG batteries inside, and the unit itself is actually manufactured by Dept Products, which is another Fremont-based company. So that's a kind of a plug-and-play battery storage unit, and then a microgrid controller and inverter are next to those. So this is what Gridscape first used their version 2.0, and they're working on the version 3.0 in their facility now, which is to put all of this together into one single unit. So it's a much cleaner design. And with that, here's our contact information. Be happy to answer any questions. I don't know what my time is.
Okay, are there any questions?
Or for Jay as well.
Okay.
Right.
Morning, Schwarber, City of Berkeley. Does your pre-negotiated PPA rate include when you're off the grid in islanding mode, or is there a different rate when you're in island?
It's a flat rate. I'm thinking that Gridscape may have some nuances now as they move, along and design systems for a number of facilities without grant funding. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Just come by and talk to me.
It's all combined? Okay. Any other questions?
Some questions for fire related. In terms of reusing, this my far here, in terms of reusing old batteries in cars, is that a safe application? Is this something that you've considered? Because it seems like an opportunity for reducing these material waste associated with old batteries.
I would say that probably not, I mean, unless it's connected directly to the facility and it's intended to plug into a home or building or whatever, it wouldn't have listing. If UL or FM were to go back and say, hey, this is also safe to plug into your home, to use that as a backup power supply, we would then get on board with that. But to just say, we have this reused battery that's great for cars, we can use it in the house, no, it's not going to work.
Okay, these units, for Fire Station 11, it was a new fire station, so you guys like did it as part of the original building design, or?
Actually, that fire station was built in 2011, but it actually didn't go into operation until I think it was 2015. We had designed it, prior to the recession, built it, and then didn't have the staffing to actually make it fully operational until 2015.
So was it, how complicated was it to put these units on existing buildings?
Well, I think the most complex thing was getting the solar in, from a design perspective, Gridscape was interested in trying to do rooftop because it would be less expensive than carports. From an access perspective, for them to be able to serve the facilities, we didn't want them up on the roofs all the time, so, having the carport structures was more important for us from that perspective. We also, on all of our other solar installations that the city owns, or doesn't, but we pay for energy generated, they're all carport structures. Our police complex has the largest solar installation, and so there was also a little bit of, I think, interest from fire to have something similar to what PD had. Friendly rivalry there. I'm not going to point fingers at Jay. But the problem with getting the carport structures in is that we actually have soil liquefaction considerations in Fremont. So fire stations 6 and 7, which were the installs that happened after fire station 11, we had to go back to the drawing board, and Gridscape actually had to bring in a different subcontractor to install that solar because we had to do a spread footing design for the carport structures in order to accommodate the soil liquefaction concerns that we had. So that was actually the biggest challenge. The battery, we fortunately had the space to be able to put in the battery units. There's some trenching that had to happen, and we had to have areas of the fire station closed off and maneuver trucks differently while they were doing the trenching into the concrete. So that definitely required a lot of coordination amongst our departments. But I think those are the big ones.
Hi, Christine Technical. So, a couple of questions. So, I noticed that in the beginning of the slide, you mentioned that one of the goals is community resiliency. So, is this something that is the whole system set up? Is that something that you make available to the community in the event of outage?
No, so I mean they're closed in terms of the microgrid itself is serving that facility, but these facilities provide critical operations to the community. And I would say when this project started, we obviously did not have any idea that the PSPS events would be happening, so it makes it that much more pertinent now. But resiliency was definitely something that we felt was valuable from the beginning.
And second question, so in terms of the cash flow, the payback period, if you did not receive the CEC grants, is this something that the CEC can pay for based on the bill savings, or is it something that Gridscape can finance, and if so, what would be the term for that financing?
Yeah, I mean, I think they can talk a little bit more about the project parameters from a perspective now. And actually, just to plug, we're going to be scheduling a webinar next month with Gridscape to talk a little bit more about the economics of the systems. But the numbers that I put forward are specific to this grant because there was a lot of research and design that was happening with Gridscape to refine the system. So if we were to say now we want solar plus storage on new facilities and go out to bid, I think we could see systems come in that will still provide a benefit to the city. The challenge is always whether you're looking at ownership or not, because as a government agency, you can't take advantage of the 30% tax credit. that's available for these systems. The SGIP is available, but, I think with a PPA, we don't have to worry about the maintenance of the systems and dealing with, any operational challenges. So, that's one key consideration for us is really, if we can do an energy services agreement, or power purchase agreement, that will be the way that we want to go forward with probably any other systems.
Sorry, one quick question. Is this project subjected to the prevailing wage requirements, because you do receive the Dept funding?
Yeah, so Gridscape had to report all that. They were the recipient of the award. We have to wait on wage requirements that were within the grant, right? Yeah.
I think we're down to the last question or so.
Hi, so I have two questions. The quick one is your webinar next month. You'll distribute that information via Jennifer?
Yeah, I will be making sure that I get it out to all the regional energy or regional networks to share. So I'll send it to Stockways, Bay Run, local government, coalition. So all of those different groups, I'll be kind of sending it out and hoping that the right people get the information. But if you specifically want to make sure you get on that list, just shoot me an email too.
Yeah, the other question I have about commercial battery storage, which I find really interesting, that you have some different types of storage in Fremont, and I guess I'm wondering, A, what the largest facility is, and B, do you know why the commercial facilities decided to install these alternate forms of storage versus the traditional?
Like the fuel cells or the flow.
Or the battery storage, I think it looks great, and I'm curious the thought process was.
The telecom installations are the largest set of installations we have. They all have hydrogen associated with them. Some have very large amounts of hydrogen associated with them to push the fuel cells. And then in terms of the batteries, the more lithium ion, there'll be a commercial facility that Rachel spoke of earlier, the ice plant. And then the flow battery, we only have one. It's a pretty small installation. It's probably in the 200 to 300 gallon range, if memory serves. We have had a facility come in and ask about a 3,000 or 4,000 gallon flow style battery, which triggers a whole bunch of other questions and involvement in other programs that facilities probably aren't aware of just yet. Most of that being the California Accident Release Program for volumes of that size.
Do you know why they chose to use these sorts of systems instead of diesel generators?
Well, I think some of it was just the ethos of working with alternate energy and the like. Diesel generator is still the cheapest way to go. We've had recent applications come in and everybody wants to default to a diesel generator. We've been trying to discourage some of that. So that's not the only alternate energy source or backup energy source. So I think a lot of it is the ethos that comes with the company.
So some of it is from staff encouraging applicants when they come in, or is it just the companies themselves?
It's an informal discussion. I don't know, we don't have any regulatory authority to require one or the other as a fire department. We just look at it, what comes in, and we'll ask the question. We do have a live project in front of us now that wants to put in a generator and said, well, think about some others. They may or may not.
Yeah, and on that note, I would just like to add that I think this is where we can have more robust conversations with the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. We have the Diesel Free by 33 campaign. Our mayor has signed on to that, but in terms of really getting to the point where DOCMA as a regulatory agency is reviewing diesel permits to really be, saying here are the alternative pathways, here are funding mechanisms, or maybe looking at development of additional incentives to support the cleaner technologies is really where I think we need to be going. And so, I want to be a part of those conversations, and I think a lot of local governments should really step up and be demanding that we have those conversations at this larger regional scale.
Eric, about how long did the coordination with PG&E take on this subject, and how receptive were they to working with you?
I don't want to piss anyone off. Dept, do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, you see all this gray hair on my head? Yeah, it was the first partnership took a long time because there were complications, as Rachel mentioned, with the DC couple system. And there are no clear standards that time. Last year, CPUC had a decision that this is allowed, DC couples to be shared solar systems. But that time there was no decision, so it took a long time, almost 9 to 10 months, even more, I think. We were running out of time, and so, I had pieces on my back and I had a gray hair, so we can talk about it. But then the subsequent systems took a little bit shorter time, they were AC coupled. We were able to get them interconnecting about 4 to 5 months. The newer system we are deploying now, we are taking shorter time. PG is a bit slower because of all the reasons PG is in. But we have a great relationship with them, and they know us as a company and the advances we are. In fact, the CPUC ruling that came out was actually the result of this project we did with Fremont and CEC. The Southern California Eastern and San Diego gas electric are a bit faster. So I think on the average it will take a couple of months to 4 or 5 months depending on the complexity of the project.
Thank you for answering that, Dept. I don't want to say anything undiplomatic.
Thank you. Thanks for the great questions and thanks